can we just get a full introduction of your name and then also when you were appointed to the VA post?
Stanley Iakopo. I was appointed May, June of 2018 as the executive director of Office of Veterans Affairs, the governor's office.
And what is your military background?
I have 21 years in United States Air Force. I'm a what they call a ground load master. I'm at the air transportation career field and did some recruiting. And then I was assigned at the Special Operations Command, the Pacific, SOCOM SOCPAC, J4. And now I'm back at the Anderson Air Force Base in the 44th APS as under my career field, air transportation.
And you recently, this week, submitted your letter of resignation as the Executive Officer of Veterans Affairs under the Governor's Office. A pretty damning letter. In it, you write that you cannot, in good conscience, align yourself with a governor who does not support veterans. So, first, can you tell us why did you decide to resign?
Well, absolutely. And the reason why I've decided to come to that decision is because, there's so much needed to be done, so much service that our veterans and their families have been crying for years, for decades, and when I was appointed, I had to deal with three categories or three departments, or of the Veterans Affairs. There's the Veterans Health Administration, Veterans Benefits Administrations, and also the National Cemetery Administration. And so these are the three three components of the VA and these are all concurrently at the same time. Our veterans and their families here in the CNMI were deprived of those services. Now, what we could do is build a relationship with federal partnerships in order to strengthen and also to emphasize and really push forward the services that our veterans and their families needed. And this is where the local government comes in. And you need the whole team. You can do it alone up to a certain point. And for myself, I did it all the way by myself and also with the help of all the veterans and the families. Me together with them, those were the people that stood by me, with me, to fight and advocate for them. And so this has been going on for the years and since I've been appointed. And so what broke the camel's back was I went on a tour and I came back and he disapproved my military leave. So that was the epitome of my decision. And then and then on top of that was the veterans were still trying to work towards in pushing for the services for the veterans and their families. And I feel that he was not able to support our veterans and our families and support me and support my office, our office. This is not his office. This is the veterans' office. These are the people's office, the families. So I wanted to make sure, and I wanted to echo that. That's the veterans' office, hence the name. So therefore, we have to do everything within our power and in our capacity to help the veterans and the families.
And did he tell you why he denied your leave, or what response did you get after? We saw the form that was denied. Did he tell you why?
Nothing. It was you saw the way he initialed and signed. No explanation, no phone call, not a text message, not even say, well, I need to explain this to you. Here's the reason why. So I wanted an answer. I wanted an explanation why. And then I wonder, does he even understand does he even realize what he's doing? What signing, disapproving my leave, my military leave, and so it just it just reminds me of all the going back the years that I've been asking to meet with him, to address the issues, the concerns that our veterans and their families locally, that they've been asking. They've been looking for programs and so forth, and also to brief him, because I've been on not a lot, but I've had meetings, either virtual conferences or in-person meetings with our VA federal counterparts from the Health Administration, from the Benefits Administration, and also the cemetery. So it's my duty and my obligation to brief him, to let him know, as my governor, so he knows what I've been doing, what the Office of Veterans Affairs have been doing, and what we have been progressing and aggressively working towards, and what do we need, also based contingents on what the veterans and the families are asking for. So these are all aspects of what I've been wanting, and I've been asking to meet with him.
And you said for 4 years you've been asking?
Yes, I have not seen him. I have not met him for all this time to just right here, just 5 minutes. There are times where I ask, I just need 5 minutes. I just need 10 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes was like asking for the world, but I only wanted 5 minutes of his time, just so that the issues so I can address, and also to brief him and update him on what the Office of Veterans Affairs are doing, and what our relationship with the federal partnership parties, that what we're working towards. Because again, as I mentioned in my letter, there's a lot of stuff that we're working towards, and this is all for our veterans. They've been crying, they've been wanting, the families. So I identify all this when I took office, and so I went to work. Thomas, it was a lot. It was hard work. There's no denying that. There's long nights. I stay up early morning, 12 o'clock, midnight, because federal offices start operating around that time, hour 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Those are the times I stay up. I call from my house. I do a lot of my work early morning around that time, because that's when federal operates. So these are the times, and I've been pushed through we're pushing it through. And all I wanted was to let him know. So also, the government, the local government, has the obligation and their due diligence, their duty to provide programs for our veterans and our families.
And what do you have to say to the governor who responded in a press release and at the press conference, who says he respects veterans and that he's indirectly and directly supported them? Why do you, first your response to that, and then secondly, why do you think it was so difficult for him to set time aside for you as the executive officer at the time?
Well, the writing's on the wall. You can ask him, and he can answer you again, whichever way. But I am not going to speak for him, and I'm not going to say why he answered in that fashion. All I'm here to share with you is because I wrote that letter, my resignation letter, and because I've the last Veterans Day I was here, and in my speech, I spent some time here, and I went through all the names, right? I look at all the names, and then that last Veterans Day last year, I said to myself, we don't do enough. Nobody. These names and their families, right? We're not doing enough. And I've been saying that in a lot of my speeches, in the Memorial Day, Veterans Day. I say that because I'm seeing it right now, and which is why I'm very adamant, I'm very aggressive. You have not sit with me in my meetings with federal VA. You sit in my meetings, you will see how I am. I fight. This is why I fight, I advocate. I am very aggressive in my meetings because for many years, our veterans here and their families are still, till this day, they're still struggling. They're still not receiving the proper treatment, the proper services that they deserve. So, going back to Veterans Health Administration, I went to work. Try to improve the reimbursement flying from Rota, Tinian, here to Saipan and Guam. They were never being reimbursed because the airlines were not vendorized. So I worked with Star Marianas, the airlines. Now the new airline that's right now just came on board, we're working on vendorizing them. So therefore, veterans from Rota and Tinian will not pay out of their own pocket. That's how it's been for years. I went to work. We did that, and now, sooner or later, maybe by this year or hopefully, they're not going to pay for it. It'll be covered by the VA because the airlines were not vendorized. Now they're working towards it should be vendorized sooner or later, maybe by this year. Pharmacy, people with PTSD, mental health, people with behavioral health issues, trained TBIs, right? Issues like that, medications, that is all mail order through the mail. And so I went talked with all the pharmacies. One of the pharmacies were not even vendorized, where the veterans have to pay for their medication before they even receive it. And then I brought all of this up to the federal. What is the use of your online mail or medication? It gets here, the veteran already had an episode, went and damn it, hurt the family. What is the use of your medicine through that? Allow the local pharmacies to dispense these medications on site, especially circumstantial, right? So we did that too, through that. The benefits for Veterans Benefits Administration for years, for decades. We had VSOs from Guam. They come here either once a year, every 6 or every 6 months. So I saw this too as the veterans here and their families. They're waiting for compensations, right, for benefits. So VSOs from Guam have to come here once or twice a year. I met with the director. I went up to federal and talked to them, and I said, no, this is going to stop. We have to have our own VPA here, VSO. Here on island. We cannot wait for Guam to come here and then serve our people. And so it went down to, now we have one. We have one currently on island for benefits, compensations, to file for claims. They come in, we have it at our office up at Capitol Hill. We have our own. We don't wait, no longer wait. So that's another, we fixed that. And then we have the cemetery. I went to war. I went to war with a lot of cattle grazers, right? Those who own cattle around the cemetery. For years, they allow their cattle just free and then just desecrate the headstones, the cemetery all over, eat the grass, all of that. We fixed that. Work with the cemetery through VA, federal, fix it. You go there. It's like you're in the U.S. If you don't believe me, go there for yourself and see it for yourself. It's beautiful. It's serene. It's just beautiful because that's where my heart. That's me. I was appointed not to serve the governor, No, to serve the veterans, and that is the main focus. And the main focus that's the main reason why I'm appointed. And I think people, is probably. I think I'm serving. No, I'm not serving the administration. I'm serving our veterans and the families because, again, they've been wanting, they've been looking for the services that they need.
And just my last question is, what's next? You outlined a lot of your accomplishments, the accomplishments of your staff. It sounds like you're still going to be advocating for your brothers and sisters in arms.
And thank you for that, Thomas. Thank you so much to you and KUM for allowing me the opportunity. I just wanted to thank my brothers and sisters and their families. They're my families. I wanted to thank them for giving me and allowing me the opportunity to serve and to be able to take care of them, at the best that I could. And then I wanted to apologize to them. And please forgive me if it seemed like I left my post. I did not. I will never leave my post. I don't need to be an executive director. I don't need to be an executive officer, sit up there in the office to say, I'm going to help you. No, you can still come to me. We've fostered our relationship and strengthened our relationship with federal partnerships, Veterans Health, Veterans Benefits, and also the cemetery. So therefore, we do it all together. You are always welcome to come to me, seek me out, and I will help. And whoever's going to be appointed up there next, I'm willing to help. Because why? It's not for whoever's sitting in that chair. It's not for what governor. No. It's for them. It's for our veterans and the families. And I will continue to serve you and continue to honor that responsibility and my obligation to take good care of you. Let me know. I'll be there to help you.